Hey YouTubers. Okay, well, we're working on the boat again, and we're doing a little cleanup here. Just want to get this out there. Okay, as you can see, we got a real good mess, and yes, that is water that is leaked out of the styrofoam. The little bilge pump 300, it's doing pretty good. This is the lowest part I can get into, and as you can see, there is water in there. That's okay. There's no wood down underneath that. It's all fiberglass, so we're not going to worry about that. Anyway, the bilge pump can't do any better until I get further up to the front of the boat. So we're going to get this whole thing, and we're going to stick it up there. It's a little more level, and we got to do some work on this. We're going to have to sand this down right down to the fiberglass. We got too many cracks, and the paint didn't stick. That's too bad. As you can see, it's all over down in there. So paint didn't stick, and we're going to sand it down to the fiberglass. I decided to go ahead and do that. So we're going to take, we are going to take everything off this top. This is a 2-section boat, and we got some patchwork, we got some fill holes, and somebody, I don't know who it was, but down in there, somewhere right about there, there's 2 holes that go all the way through the boat, completely all the way through the boat. Okay, so it looks like they used a cheap piece of wood. It's really thin. It's not good. So I have no idea what this bubble is. I don't like it, and I think that we're just using just a marine board, and there's a piece of the original, which it's in good shape, but it only goes to right about there. So that's the end of the wood. I did a good cut right there. One of the Patreons sent me that machine. I've got the batteries, and I had the handle for it. Handle, no handle, I don't know. Doesn't seem to matter much. Burnt the blade doing it. If you're gonna do a total restoration of a hull of a boat, you're gonna be looking at this mess. And there is something else. This styrofoam has been sitting out in the dry now for 3 days. Can you see all that water? I mean, that's why this boat was so heavy. And they did something weird with the fiberglass. Right across there, you can just see a little piece of it. And over there, they did another piece of it, as you can see. And of course it broke off, and as far as I can tell, that just looks like a hollow tube. That doesn't do anything. The only thing I can think of that it's for is to hold the board up. But we're going to slide in. So that means all the work I did just to cut that, and get it close to the wall, we're actually going to cut the whole joint out all the way across. Yep. That way when I put the board in, I'm going to cut the board about an 1/8 of an inch, something like that. When I get this down, get the shell off from it, the top. When I get the top off from it, we're going to zip that right off. It looks like I can trim a jigsaw and get closer. I don't want to knock a hole through the boat or the hull. And as you can see, there used to be blocks. And the blocks are just absolutely ridiculously rotted. See if we can find a block in here for you. Probably not. Okay. That is one of the blocks. And what they did was they put some kind of a compound, some sticky stuff. There's some right there. Okay. They put some sticky stuff right there. And they didn't cut this to the hull. They just cut this straight across. As you can see, it's just straight across, just chunk of wood. This is not treated. I put a big old X on there to see how far it went in, and it went in about that far. So I used the wizard saw, and it just went right through it. So I'm going to say every piece of board on this boat is toast, and we have to cut the whole entire fiberglass top of the hull to get to the wood. That's what we're after. That's what we're doing. We're going to go after the wood. Looks like it kind of curves around across the ride about there. And I'm going to say the same thing over here. It just kind of curves around. And we'll get to that. I've got mostly everything stripped off. I got all the glass off. And we are going to pull every single screw in the top of this boat. All of it. I don't care what it is. We're going to get rid of it, including the light, everything. And we're going to pick this up and we're just going to set it over there. And since we're in the drying mood, we're looking down in here. This is back to transit. It's just plywood. That's not marine plywood. That's just regular plywood. I think we went through this. The only thing I'm not going to do is, I already told you I wasn't going to do the steering. And we're not going to play with this guy. Okay? This guy's got I don't know, maybe we'll use that bolt hole, a zip tie, hook it up, call it good, stick it through this hole, zip tie it, goes with it. Here's another one. As you can see, just kind of, they just poured it in there. I don't even think, I'm not really quite for sure if they had the top on or not. It looks a little wonky, but I don't know, maybe they did something else that I'm not going to do. It's like this piece right here. It's kind of curved over. I don't exactly know how they did that. Here's another heavy one. All right. Well, that's it on that. And I was talking about, The glass being pretty good. Got little hiccups, little bumps and bangs on the back. But like I said, most of the hull itself is actually in pretty good shape. I noticed we got some cracks running across here. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap this again once I get all the paint off. So this is going to turn into a total construction. Alright, there's our hole right there. There's two of them. I think you can even see daylight in one of them. And we're going to have to fix that. Get all this house paint. I don't even know why anybody even did that. I can't even tell you. It's just a mess. It just flakes off. It's junk. Alright, so all these top snaps, they all got to come out. We're going to go ahead and we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and just plug the holes. We're going to glass it on the inside. And right here, I think there's a structural problem. So since this goes all the way out to right here where the window is, and all the way back to the back of the boat, I think what we're going to do is right here, we're going to go ahead and put an underneath board. So we're going to put 2 layers of glass underneath this, and then we're going to go ahead and put a board on there, and then we're going to glass it, and we're going to try to make it to where the board is sitting somewhere down here, and that should stop a lot of these cracks. And we're going to do the same thing right here, this little channel right here. We're going to go ahead and fiberglass it up a little bit underneath it. We are going to refiberglass the whole entire boat, 2 layers. We're going to use something, a real thin matting. We're going to put 2 layers on it. But that's after we go ahead and sand all these cracks. I don't think the cracks go through the fiberglass, but I think they're right there at the paint line. I think it's salvageable. Especially when we get some wood underneath this. And this is a windshield hole. So we're going to do underneath it, we're going to drill it, then we're going to do the top of it, flip it over in the holes that I want. We'll be able to see the holes underneath it, and we'll just go ahead and run a drill bit right on through the glass. And that should be it. We're going to do a cleanup job. That's what we're doing today. And that's what she's supposed to look like when I get the other side. Now that centerpiece, I don't know. It's wonky. It's wavy. It's got bulges in it. I have not got into that, but it is definitely above the bilge bay because it doesn't have that board in it. So we're going to go ahead and cut it right to it and find out exactly where that goes. I assume just the way it looks and the way they got it rolled out, I'm going to say that is a board underneath there, and we got to find out if that board is toast or not. But I think either way, the way it looks, I want to be able to put my paddles in here. So I noticed that up in the further you go up forward, the less of that you have. It like dives down into the front, and I'm going to say that there's a board under there, but we're going to cut a little section out in case I'm wrong. And if that thing is like an air pocket or something that they tried to make, or it's got styrofoam and they just wrapped it and thought that would be good enough, it's not. We'll do something totally different, and we'll probably put a piece of wood in there, and we'll probably bring it up so the door that I'm going to have should be alright. We're going to go from here on this board, okay, which I'm going to use a 2x4. I think that's about close enough. We'll whip out the table saw. If not, this is 2x6. I don't know. We're going to measure it. We'll find out. When I do, I'll let you know. And as you can see, we're just picking away at it. We still got quite a bit to do. But once I get the top off the boat, we'll be in really, really good shape as far as that goes. And we're going to go ahead and just pull that top right off here soon, probably this week, or before the end of the week. And we're going to get down into it. I want a nice smooth waterway that goes all the way to the back, which this does not. So all the water this boat has ever seen is still in here. So we're going to do something totally different. We're going to go ahead and make a waterway from the front all the way back to the bilge bay itself. And there's not enough styrofoam in this boat with a 40 horsepower motor and the anchor that I want to set in here along with the paddles. You know, I want an easy access. We're still going to put the fire extinguisher up there in the front when we get this all done. We'll put the board back in it, stainless steel nuts and bolts, and we're going to go ahead and reinstall the fire extinguisher because I like where it is, and I don't want to have to lift a board up. I want to be able to just grab it, unclamp it, and go to business if we got a major problem here in the back. I'm thinking about, realistically, I'm thinking about this space. This is good enough to set a battery in, and I kind of like that idea. And since I got two, I think we're going to shove a battery in here, and we're going to glass up a battery spot, put some wood on it, maybe some fur, and go ahead and start in with our fiberglass and put the battery up here. So I'll have two main lines going from there all the way back there, two small lines coming back to the ignition to tell the solenoid to go ahead and rotate the motor. So I believe that's what we're going to do, because I want to put two 12-gallon tanks underneath there, and I got to put fiberglass, get the dimensions, fiberglass it up, and of course there will be a seat right there and another seat here for the driver, of course one right here, another one back there, and I'll have two in the front. So this boat actually had 8 seats in this boat. We're going to take 2 of them, and we're going to forget that those ain't there. So we got to come up with a different kind of shifting system altogether I was thinking about cutting the corners on this, which at this point, you know, who cares? Might as well. I want to put a nice piece of wood right here, you know, and start my run. And from right here to right here, I think I'm going to cut it. And this piece, we're going to cut it about right here. So we're going to gain something like, 4 inches, right? Okay. Well, if we add 4 inches down here, and we got another 4 over there, we might find another Johnson Seahorse electric start with a manual pull that has the easy start valve train. It's a cold start. If you want to pull it, it just takes the compression off the pistons and the valves, so you can rotate the engine a whole lot easier, just pressure relief. You know, a lot of diesels have that for, you know, starter cold. But I think that's what we're going to do here, is we might actually put 2 twin 40 horsepower Johnson Seahorses. The measurement comes out right next to some of the guys out there in California, and it goes down there and coast of Florida and all this. They're putting, you know, 5-6 engines on the back of these boats. That's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, hey, you know, do whatever you want to. If I do that, I'll change the props. We'll put both motors together. We'll see if we can balance them out and get both of them to run, and just go with a high-speed prop. You got 2 40 horsepowers that are drilling away down there in the water, and I don't see no reason whatsoever that I can't put 2 high-speed props and get the top in, because this boat, when I get done with it, it is going to be rock solid. You're not going to be able to tweak, torque. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. This thing is going to jump out of the water like a daisy popping in your yard. So, of course, you got to beat them things down, but you're not going to beat this thing down. It's a heavy boat right now, but we already know what the deal is. It's just the foam. It just soaked up too much water. So, on that note, we're going to get the other side cleaned up. Then we're going to go ahead and get all the fiberglass off. Thanks once again to one of my patrons. They just went ahead and bought that, dropped it off in the mailbox. Bing, bang, boom. If you like this video, write a comment on the bottom. You know, bleep blop me, and hit the button, subscribe, and we'll just keep diving into this. We're going to get all the glass done before winter. That is the main goal. We'll get all the glass done, flip the boat over, sand it all down, get a brand new 2 layers of I don't know what size we're going to use, something thin. Can't really think of a good number, but we'll do something thin on it. And unfortunately, we're going to pull off the decal. I don't think it'll make it because, well, it's plastic. Go figure. It's not metal. And we're going to find out the guts and glories of what the deal is in the front. If anybody patched this tri-hull up here in the front for sandbarring and pulling up to, you know, little islands and stuff, we're going to find out what's going on up here. I'm just so curious to sand that down and see if it is just been if somebody did, they did a good job. I can tell you that. But this old tri-haul, we're gonna do an episode on the motor next week, and we might show a little bit of what we done here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll just make a updated video. But I'm not going to bore anybody with, you can see the idea of what we're doing. We're using a little flat shovel. We got a big shovel that's flat too. And once you start in on it and pull one of them stringers off from there, you can tell that I really got moving pretty good. So we're doing okay. It took a week just to do what you're seeing right there with the foam and stuff. Look at the other videos before when I actually did cut the floor out, and it was so thin in too many places. But we're going to do something totally different with this. But the main thing is we're going to get this top off. We're going to work on the stringers. Okay, we're going to get them out of there, and then in the middle here we're going to find out what that is. Is there a board in there, or is it hollow? I don't know, but we're going to find out, because that's the biggest mystery I got right now. And is it rotted? So we're definitely going to peel out probably a 1x1 section, and pull that fiberglass back. And if it's good, which I'm doubting that, but if it is good, we will go ahead and figure something out else to do with that. If it is good, we might just go ahead and just put 2 layers of chop on the whole entire boat. Of course, we are going to do the plywood. We're going to get at least 2 on the back, the front, and I'm going to do it all the way around all the corners. So when I do put the wood in there, I got fiberglass wood with marina plywood, and when I set it in there, I'm going to put a whole nother coat right on top of it, feather it all in on the sides, and I want at least 1/4 of an inch across that board. That way it comes up to this point, and all they did was put a strip of metal across there that joins the wood to the fiberglass. We're not going to do that. We're going to come up with something different. I might just bring it all the way up and fiberglass the top in on top of it, and this boat ain't ever going to come apart. It'll be lighter, especially without the styrofoam, because it's probably been wet for God knows how long. But Mad Mace 73, y'all have a good day. Subscribe, watch, check it out, and we're going to keep going. Thank you.